today, this short lesson is about the iFrame. I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I'm going to include in Blackboard along with this video, so we can take a look at them. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the handout I'm going to be giving you. It's iFrame PDF. And this gives you some step-by-step directions on how to pull off what I am talking about in this video. The idea behind an iFrame is that basically you've got a page, an HTML page, sitting inside of a box with a scroll bar on your page. So it's a page on a page. The example that I'm going to give you is right here. I built this a few years ago, and this is a site essentially about a Marvel comic character. So what we've got is we've got an image on the left-hand side. We've got some links over here on the top, and then on the right-hand side we've got this iFrame, which is again a separate page, completely separate page. And notice that there's a scroll bar right here. So let's just talk for a minute about the code and how this is built. I'm going to jump over to the code to make it a little bit easier. And I am in Dreamweaver, by the way. So this page has, the usual stuff that you set up in page properties, but it also has some interesting code that is related to the iFrame itself. So you can I will supply this code along with this video. This code right here is the actual iFrame itself. You've got I've set this up in a table, but you could do it in a div if you wanted to. But essentially, what it is it's a rectangular box on the page that will load a completely separate page into that box. This first part of the code is the image that's over here on the left-hand side, this image, which is one of the cells. And then over here on the right-hand side in the other cell is the actual iFrame itself. The way it works is you give it a particular width, and you can give it a height too as well. And you put in the tag, which is iFrame. It has an attribute, which is src, and that equals the actual location of the frame itself, the content of the frame. And then you put in name equals iFrame and ID equals iFrame. Then you can decide if you want it to have a border. So I set the border to 0. I've given it a height and a particular width right here. So actually that looks like the width is actually duplicated, but essentially, so this is the width of the cell. This is the width of the iFrame itself. And that's repeated on the bottom of the handout I'm giving you. So iFrame source src equals pages/about.html, name equals iFrame, ID equals iFrame, frame border equals 0 or whatever you want to put. You could actually give it a border if you want to. You can give it a height and a width, and then you just close the iFrame. You don't have to actually give it any content in between these two tags. So notice that I do close the iFrame immediately right here as well. So that's how you place an iFrame. Again, just a box. It can go pretty much anywhere on your page. You can put it in a div. You can put it in a cell. You can put it essentially anywhere on the page if you want to. Now, the trick to this is you want to be able to target, not only do you want to be able to place this page in there, but you also want to be able to target other links into the iFrame so that you can reload it, essentially. So let's take a quick look at this in the browser. So it starts with this home content, which is right here. And if I take a look at it, it's just some lorem ipsum text sitting on a red field, and it says home up here at the top. Let me enlarge this a bit if I can so we can see it. So it says home up here at the top. I'm going to hit origin, and notice that it then loads separate lorem ipsum text with origin at the top. And then I hit powers, and that loads a separate one as well. I hit Wanda, and then you get that one as well. So what it's doing essentially is it's leaving this page, this index page, up on the screen, and it is loading individual pages into the iFrame as you hit the links. So that seems like quite the trick. Let's take a quick look at the structure of the pages. So right here, what we've got is the index page itself, and then we've got home page, which is the home one, origin, powers, Wanda. So all of these are their own page. If I take a look at what those look like in Dreamweaver, so let me just open that up real quick. It's really just a styled page that has the lorem ipsum on it. Now if I look at it in the browser, that's what it looks like. There you go. Nothing much to it, but when it's loaded into the iFrame, it becomes some content that can be scrolled and read. This page can contain anything you want. You can throw videos on here. You can put images. Anything you'd like can go on this iFrame. You want to make sure it will actually fit into the iFrame that you create in terms of the width. Otherwise, it'll get cut off as it loads. So just be aware of that. So let's just take a look at how the links work. So the links, go to back to the index page. I'm going to reopen that. So this is the index page. So these links that we saw up here, basically the way they work is, and I'll just hit some returns here so we can see, we can begin to see how these are functioning. This makes it a little bit easier to see. So we've got, again, another table cell, and again, it doesn't have to be a table cell, but this is where my links are sitting. The idea here is you've got an A href. So the A is the link, href is the attribute. This is the location or the actual path of the page. So pages/homepage.html. Notice the tricky part though. Here it says target equals iFrame. So what it's doing is it's targeting this name and ID that is set up down here for the iFrame. And that is true of all of the links I've got here. So in each case, what it's doing is it is actually targeting the iFrame, which means that when I click on that link, it's going to load that HTML page into that iFrame. So just be aware that you need to make sure you put in the targeting, otherwise it won't work. And you need to have something which is the original content of it. By the way, this can be a blank page if you wanted to. So you could have essentially an iFrame that has no content, and when you click on one of the links, it populates it with something. So you could actually have sort of a blank box on your page where with some links next to it. You click on one of those links, and an image, a video, some text, something will show up in that box. That's essentially how this iFrame works. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Don't forget about the way in which the actual iFrame is written. You can follow the instructions that I've given you on this PDF and take a look at the sample code that I'm going to supply. Okay, and that's all I've got for you for this one for today. Good luck, and try out an iFrame if you get a chance in your Eastchester project. Okay, I'm going to stop my share, and I'm going to stop the recording right now.